happy. Hi, we're back with the another installment, and this is just a hey, how you doing? Have you ever had a kiwi before? These are golden kiwis, so they're not green, they're yellow. And when they're ripe, this is the exact color gold they should be. That color right there. I don't have any kiwis that are spoiled. I had a little piece of a kiwi that had a bit of maybe a bruise on it, but I cut that piece off. You see here, this one's just a hair lower than that. That one had it, and the kiwi looks perfect under that. So now you know. Kiwis are not able to grow in Canada. I'm pretty sure maybe in BC, but that would be maybe in BC or in Ontario, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure kiwis are citrus that you have to be in like a tropical type of place, like maybe Florida, but I don't even know if Florida can handle kiwis. But Central America, I don't know what New Zealand has on the rest of the world, but it must be pretty magical, because these kiwis, yeah, that's right, they're from New Zealand. So I don't know if New Zealand and Hawaii are very similar. Let's ask the Googs if Hawaii has kiwis in it. Hey Google, are you always listening?
No, I am not always listening.
Fucking lies. So we're gonna go here. Do kiwis grow in Hawaii, Google? Yes?
Yes, kiwis can grow.
Okay, so stop it. Do kiwis grow in Florida? No?
While it's more challenging than in some other climates.
So you could possibly grow a kiwi there, but it's not as easy. This is why I was saying I'm a pretty smart guy. Now we're gonna find out why New Zealand is so much better at growing kiwis than Florida. Can you grow kiwis in Australia? Yes, maybe, but difficult?
Yes, you can definitely grow kiwis in Australia. Australia's...
Can you grow kiwis in New Zealand?
Yes, absolutely. New Zealand is famous for growing...
Are kiwis best grown in New Zealand?
While New Zealand is certainly renowned for its kiwi fruit and provides excellent growing conditions.
A New Zealander is actually referred to as a kiwi. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it's pretty straightforward. So once you get these once you get these slices like this, you're just going to turn the plate and just continue on, okay? And there's very little left here. If there is something, you could bite your teeth down onto it. There is a gentleman at Costco, he told me you could eat this skin. I'm not chancing it. Plus the pesticides would be on the skin itself, majority. I'm not saying they wouldn't have seeped through, but just cut the skin off. In my opinion, I'm going to cut the skin off. You guys can do what you like. I'm cutting the skin off. What's weird though is I eat the skin on apples, right? Since every apple I've ever eaten, I've cut. When I see people skinning an apple with a knife, I'm like, what are you doing? That's the best part. Once you get your kiwi down to this, super easy. This is a very ripe kiwi, so I have to be extremely delicate. And I don't know if you know, Icelanders, they're not extremely delicate people. So do what you will with all that I just said. What's a great deterrent for you to not want to go swimming in the ocean? That's right, sharks, right? People think, oh, shark attacks and this and that. Well, what if you didn't know that the shark that's attacking you was previously days before attacked by a fisherman, right? So is it the shark attacking, or is the shark releasing the anger that we release sometimes on the wrong people? Is this not a fair statement? When you see the people that think sharks are bad and you literally hear their explanation, you suddenly realize how evil those people truly are. Truly are. And only there for profit. Something that doesn't even exist, and they're willing to eradicate an entire livestock, like a living being from the planet Earth. You gotta ask yourself, which side are you on? Are you on the side of nature and people? I'm not talking about green projects and liberal scum stuff. I'm talking about us going out and making sure people aren't slaughtering sharks for fun. That's it. I didn't say we should fucking pay more taxes on gas and electricity, because that only burdens us. And corporations only profit. You get the 13 families profiting hand over fist continuously. And I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of what people don't understand and just allow to continue, right? So, do your part to be more than what they expect you or want you to be. Be what you want to be, not what they want you to be, right? I'm so sick of what I won't do anything or be anything that somebody else wants, other than a good person. If you expect more of me than being a good person, you gotta fuck right off. I'm gonna live my life the way I want to. And yeah, some people are gonna shit on me and talk smack about me, and then there's lots of others that will envy and try to replicate this adventure in this life, right? It ain't easy. Trust me, it ain't easy. It's very difficult. Long hours. You're always doing stuff. You work for yourself, right? So it ain't easy. They created a world that is not meant to be. If you want to look at 15-minute cities, that's not you living in the bush, right? 15-minute city is you relying on 7,000 other people to ensure that you have your water, your bread, your veggies. That's a 15-minute city. If you live in the country, you're those 7,000 people. You have to be an electrician, a plumber. You have to understand wells. You have to understand vegetation, growth, healthy vegetables to plant. You have to understand farming. You have to understand that you have to be out there every single day checking on your crops. Every single day. Most people aren't going to really get half of that stuff. You're not going to be like, oh, I know exactly what to do. I'm just going to go live on here and I'm going to get it all done. It's really difficult. It takes a community, in fact, and I think small towns or places like that are far better than cities. Now, if they get their claws in deep enough, they'll do the same thing, right? But small towns are going to be harder to infiltrate as they've been around a long time as a community, and they'll see certain things trying to be broken up, or devastation to agriculture or certain sectors. They'll catch it and they'll be like, no, you're too corporate, fuck off. There should be no small, like, when I'm going to read you something here. This is,
It's not the only.
hey Google, can you read to me the specifics on Trump's big bill?
As Robert, I can tell you about what has been described as dumb.
He remembers he's Robert today. That's crazy. As Robert. Oh my god, they gave me back my AI is able to remember that he's Robert today. What the fuck? He hasn't said he's Robert for so long.
Trump's big bill were.
Hi Robert, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. I'm ready to help you with whatever you need today.
Can you please help me understand why so many corporate elites, bankers, and industrial military complexes are not happy with Mr. Trump's big bill?
It's interesting to see how different groups react to a major piece of legislation like Mr. Trump's big bill. When it comes to corporate elites, bankers, and the military-industrial complex, their concerns often stem from how the bill might impact their specific interests.
Profits.
Even if some aspects of the bill might seem broadly favorable to business. Here's a breakdown of some potential reasons for dissatisfaction, keeping in mind that there are diverse opinions within each of these broad categories. 1. Corporate elites and bankers. Increased national debt and fiscal instability. A significant concern for many in the...
Holy shit. Did he really just say that? Holy shit. Did he really... Corporate elites and bankers, increased national debt and fiscal instability. A significant concern for many in the financial sector. Can you tell me the big bills, new updates that help the people instead of helping the corporations?
You're asking a great question, Robert, because understanding the big bill requires looking at how it's framed to benefit...
Now he calls me Robert. You're asking a great question, Robert. Oh, fuck, this thing. This thing is just dumb, bro.
Individuals and families, even while it also impacts corporations. Here are some of the key updates in Mr. Trump's big bill that are intended to directly help the people. 1. Tax cuts and take-home pay.
So, tax cuts and take-home pay? That's the opposite of what's happening here in Canada. They're only giving tax cuts to like a small area of people. But they've done the math, and they see that it's probably, you know, the 30% or 40% part. So it is the biggest demographic, but it's the, it's not going to be the one that saves Canada, right? Like, I don't know how to explain this. They need to be doing more for the whole country of Canada, right? Maybe not the richest class. Maybe give them like a 5 or a 10% tax break, you know, one time, but just let them know like next year you're gonna pay 11%, you know, instead of 10. So you pay 1% more than you did this year because, well, you're the richest, you can afford to, right? And if you don't think like that, then you don't belong in politics, right? You don't tax the poorest fucking largest group of people and keep the world, like keep that country down. You tax the largest, richest group of people as much as possible without them leaving your country and doing business elsewhere. And the only way to figure out what that is to have a lobbyist on the people's side that goes and tells them, you're not going to get the tax cuts you guys think you're getting. I'm going to offer you 1% tax cut over 17 years. And it's 1% is going to come when you guys say, you can have it on your first year, you can have it on your 17th year, but the rest of those years you're going to pay 50% more taxes because you guys are making bundles of money every quarter. Not in a year, every quarter. So when you think like this, you can see that this is the way it needs to be.
Extension of 2017 tax cuts. The bill makes permanent many of the individual income tax rate reductions that were set to expire. This means lower tax rates for many Americans compared to what they would have faced if the cuts had expired. No tax on tips initiative. This is a significant...
So no tax on tips. That's going to help single families, mothers, waitresses, you know, chefs, single husbands, single fathers, right? And then it's going to help families that don't have high-paying careers, right? Both of your parents are waitresses and waiters. You know what I mean? Whatever the sex of your parents are. But yeah, like, that's going to help the people, right? And why in the first place would you take tax on tips? Unless you're a conniving, just a scoundrel place to live, right? That wants to see only the rich succeed, right? So you can see that there's shit been put in place a long time ago to keep us down, to keep the poorest people poor. How fucking corrupt do you have to be to take somebody's tips? It's a tip.
Significant new provision. For workers who receive tips, like those in hospitality, the bill eliminates federal income taxes on reported tip income up to $25,000 annually. This is intended to directly increase the take-home pay for tipped workers, with estimates suggesting an average saving of $1,300 per tipped worker. No tax on overtime pay, similar to tips.
So now we're going to talk about how hard you work and penalizing someone for who works extra hard in the public sector. Let's simply talk about the public sector, where you need water, you need electricity, all these different. Well, I don't. It depends if you're. Lots of places electricity is private sector, right? So, which is fucking scummy as fuck. Okay, if your electricity company is private, that means your government has already sold you out. Okay, you guys don't understand who I am and the power that I have in me. They do not want me in politics because I will fucking trump them overnight. I will fucking kick those corporate beasts out of politics in Canada forever. I'm so disgusted that they even made their claws. They shouldn't be here right now. The scummiest people ever run Canada right now.
The bill also eliminates federal income taxes on overtime pay, aiming to put more money into the pockets of hourly workers who work longer hours, potentially up to $1,400 annually. No tax on car loan interest. This is another new deduction aiming to provide relief on a common household expense. Tax relief for seniors. The bill includes
Okay, the oldest people in the world that can't work, and we still and your country thinks that you should be taxing old people. What the fuck has this? This is hell. This is hell. You know? You tax old people. This is hell.
$6,000 deduction for most older adults earning less than $75,000 a year. Increased standard deduction. The bill locks in and further boosts the doubled standard deduction, increasing it to $31,500 for families. This means more income is automatically exempt from taxation for many filers who don't itemize. 2. Child and family support. Boosted child tax credit. The bill locks in and further boosts the doubled child tax credit to $2,200 for more than 40 million American families. This is a direct financial benefit for families with children. It also strengthens the Social Security number requirement to ensure that
if I had the ability to, I would triple it overnight, triple the child tax credit. That 40 million families, I would quadruple it so that I knew that I was helping 40 million families. You can double it if you say families is a mother and a father, and then you can add another, at least a triple on that. So it's 120 million Americans would be helped by quadrupling the child tax credit. Are you fucking minimum 120 million people? Are you fucking kidding me? Let's 5 times it so that we can ensure that the families have food and clothes and pay the rent, or if you can even afford a small mortgage, you can do that. You know what I mean? Why are these corporations not helping families? So if you have a major corporation in your country, but there are families that go hungry at night, you need to eat the corporations overnight. You need to.
Benefit goes to American families. Expanded child care credit. The bill supports working families by expanding access to the child care credit. Permanent paid leave tax credit. This provision aims to support working families by making the paid leave tax credit permanent. Enhanced adoption tax credit. The bill enhances the adoption tax credit and indexes it for inflation, aiming to help more families experience adoption. Expanded 529 education savings accounts. This aims to empower families and students with more choices for K-12 education materials or post-secondary trades credentials. 3. Economic growth and job creation. Proponents of the bill argue that by providing tax cuts and incentives for businesses to manufacture more in the U.S. and hire American workers, it will lead to the protection and creation of up to 7.2 million jobs, including narrations and criticisms. While these provisions are highlighted as benefiting individuals, it's crucial to acknowledge that the bill also includes significant changes to social safety net programs and has drawn criticism for its potential impact on certain populations and the national debt. For example, the bill makes deep cuts to Medicaid and food assistance, SNAP, by imposing new work requirements and more frequent eligibility checks, which some analyses project could lead to millions losing coverage or benefits. Some nonpartisan analyses also suggest that while all income quintiles might see a tax cut, the largest benefits in dollar terms disproportionately go to higher income earners. So while there are clear provisions intended to provide direct financial relief and support to individuals and families, the overall impact and who benefits most are subjects of ongoing debate.
Okay, well, now you know, right? So, I gotta tell you straight up, I think that there's a lot of people that don't deserve a corporate job because they're evil and they only want to bring down your country, right? So if you live in a world full of poverty, blame corporations in your village, in your country right now. Blame them. And if you don't, it means you're spineless weasel, okay?